to go over this actually. This is part of the, I'll add this onto the video. Oh, we could put this on at the start actually. So police, yeah, we could put this on at the start. Hello, this is the start. No, this is not the end. Or is it the start? Or it might be the end, depends which side I put it on, but it doesn't matter. Police Scotland, Forth Valley. Now listen to this, like, read this. Today, local community officers have been conducting handheld radar speed detection in the Allendale area. The public are reminded that the current 20 mph speed restriction is compulsory and not advisory. Excessive speed in this zone on the national limit zone will result in the driver receiving penalty points or being reported to the courts. Right, so look, so today local officers have been handheld speed in the Allendale area. Right, full stop. This is very, well no, I won't say what it is until I've read it all. The public are reminded, so current 20 mph speed restriction is compulsory and not advisory. Excessive speed in this zone. So excessive speed. So they're not saying going faster than 20 and less than 30. Excessive. So this, what they've put here, could have been applied for the last 50 years, right? Over 30 in the national limit zone, and they've got a very. This is very misleading. This is actually fake news from Police Scotland. This zone, so that's obvious. That is true what they've wrote there. Excessive speed in this zone on the national limit zone will result in the driver receiving penalty points or being reported to the courts. That's true, right? That's always been true. But that's not as a result of that. So that's sneaky, that. And everybody in these comments has everybody apart from me, I think, has fell for it. Because they haven't actually read it. They've seen that. I did it first as well. That, and that. And they've gone, bang, this is it. It means they are compulsory. They're not compulsory. Is compulsory and not advisory. That's a TTRO. It's not a speed limit. And then so if it was a real limit, they would then go, you know, breaking this 20 mph speed limit will result with the driver. So the only way to actually, you know, this is all fanny. This is bad policing from Police Scotland. Police Scotland are corrupt. They've been corrupted by the Scottish Government. And that's why they got rid of Ian. Well, Ian Livingston left and they got that woman from Durham in. The one that fucked off when we had the storm, remember? When my first brother-in-law died in that storm? She went away back to Durham. What's worse, she got a member of Police Scotland to drive her to Durham in a police car. What a bunch of wasters. Right, so they're not a decent police force. They've been ruined by the Scottish Government. They're corrupt, and this is a lot of shit. So ignore it and do 30 mph. Even the police would probably tell you that privately, but this is all spin. It's lies and deception. Thanks. Hey, welcome to 20 Zone update. Right, Police Scotland. Oh, look at the state of this. This is a quick update, but look at them. It's not really about 20 zones is the real problem with this. And we've been deceived into believing it is. It's scaremongering tactics by the police who are not, they're corrupt. I mean, there has to be a certain level of honesty from them. I mean, you're wanting people to slow down, so you go around cheating. That's not fair. So this woman's standing there. Look at the state of her. Anyway, right, she's standing there. It's not even freaking, look, national speed limit. And look, I mean, the point is pretty, to start moaning about 20 zones with that picture there, when obviously that's a sort of road, that's Allendale. So that'll be the, probably, I think that's probably the bridge over the 80. Hags will be the other side. Or maybe I've got it the wrong way around. I think aye. What's that say there? Glasgow, Stirling. Right. Okay, so I had a bit of a, I don't know, I think this guy's blocked me. But anyway, his name's Arthur Mingies. Arthur Mingies, and he's a right dumpling. Ah, he's blocked me. Can he take the heat? Oh no, he hasn't. He hasn't. Anyway, we had that set to about this 20 zones. Arthur. I mean, he wasn't very bright, to be honest. I don't really want to be demeaning with people, but he's just not very bright. You know, I mean, so we're arguing about 20 zones. From the offset, they are a complete and utter stupid waste of time. I think anybody with any common sense will know that. They are perfect for outside schools and hospitals. Everybody agrees with that. On a road like that, thoroughly and utterly stupid, right? So that's just persecution, and that it's coming from the SNP and the Green Party, because the Green Party are anti-human, right? So they don't want us going about driving around enjoying our lives and having a better life. They don't want that at all. The Green Party basically doesn't really want us around at all. They would rather we just weren't here at all. But this is the hypocrisy in it, because they would rather still be here. So it's not like a you first thing. It's like, yeah, it's you first, but not them, right? So basically, we've gone on about this for the last few days. This guy, it's not very nice actually. Without proof you're talking shite. I don't know why you have a problem sticking to, he's just not listening to me, limits. It's not a limit. Especially there as they put the 20 at, you can get points for spending a fine, bye. So I've tried to get through to him, but he's not very bright. Like I said, this is not about me or my licence. If you read the post properly, it's deliberately deceptive. You can't get points for driving above 20 miles per hour, below 30 miles per hour speed in Scotland. It's irrelevant if I provide proof. You're an extreme case of denial, but hopefully other right-thinking people can understand what's happening. So what I mean is he's not even listening to what I'm saying to him. And he does that thing, a lot of them do that, oh bye, they try to get away from you. Like, I think it's a power thing, where they're in control of what they're doing. Proof, real proof, up-to-date proof. Government makes the laws, police enforce a sign stating 20 miles per hour is a speed limit. Don't get too many points. So he's saying that the sign is the law. You know, so he's saying, because the sign's there, it must be the law. But that's what I'm saying, it isn't. So, we're doing this backwards, hope it doesn't make it weird. Does law and misuse of power matter? The government, he said it doesn't matter. And the government and the police are just making this up. They're not bothering with the rules. This is a fake limit. Fake law is a fake limit. It's not a limit. 20 zones are not a speed limit. You have been warned. I can't explain it anymore if you refuse to listen. He's not listening. So he wants proof. Now the problem with the proof is that the onus is not on me to prove that 20 zones are not real in Scotland, because I can't necessarily prove that, because they aren't. You know, so you would have to prove that they are. So, you know, so it's not really up to me to prove it. It's up to you, Arthur, to prove it. Because and how you would prove it is you could go for freedom of information request, Police Scotland. That doesn't work because they refuse to give the information. Somebody's already done that. And Police Scotland are refusing to give, for a variety of excuses, saying it's not in the public interest, etc., etc. So that in itself tells you there's something funny going on. The clues in the name, Traffic Scotland, under political control of the Scottish Government, so they are doing the bidding of the Scottish Government. If they weren't, we could rightly be cross with them for not doing it. Firstly, we have a highly political Scottish Government only interested in their own interests. Again, the last time, see, it's just intolerant behaviour, Arthur. Doesn't want to have a debate. Traffic Scotland working with police, not Scottish Government, Traffic Scotland. I don't know, he's Traffic Scotland. So he thinks Traffic Scotland makes the laws. Is it Traffic Scotland that makes up the laws? Do they have a court or something? I don't know what he's talking about. The Scottish Government couldn't get a 20 miles per hour speed limit outside of the currently prescribed zones to the Scottish Parliament, so they fudged the issue. This is why the Chief Constable said he would not prosecute anybody. Unfortunately, councils have misread the law to these limits without bothering to go through the planning process. The system is being used against people by the councils and the governments. That is what I am objecting to. There are no planning grounds for 20 limits except schools and hospitals. Arthur, we're going backwards, remember. This is from the back to the beginning. No, I think 20 is stupid. Right, that's the only sensible thing you've said, Arthur. However, so he knows that they're stupid, and yet he's still being a fanny. However, you're quoting a bill from 6 years ago. Things change. Personally, I see a speed limit sign, I stick to it, so I don't care if it is legally enforceable or not. However, I've already explained Traffic Scotland, police work together, we are the ones who decide speed limits. So why wouldn't they be? Well, they're not the ones who decide speed limits. It's the government, Scottish government decides, and that's why 6 years is when the bill fell. So the bill has not been passed in 6 years. So that is up to date. That is up to date. 6 years, 2019. The bill fell. So why would they be saying if the bill fell, how could they be enforcing 20 zones? They can't, because the bill fell. Or why did they why did they try and get a bill and it fell? It says it fell. I mean, I'm not going to do that now, but I can go and find it and show you. It fell. Right? So why would they go and 20 zones are shite? Yeah, they can do you, but not for speeding. Right? So he's just being a total fanny. I mean, the thing is, like, I can't start talking about what happened in the Second World War in Germany. I'm not going to mention that party, right? But that's what this is. This is people, well, using children against us and just using these tactics. And then people like him, Arthur Mingies, people like him are capitulating to this. He knows he doesn't like it, and he knows it's wrong, but he's still supporting it, because he's an umpty. This is a response to the conspiracy theory thing. This is not a theory, it's being backed up by hard evidence. The CIA started spreading that term to avoid accountability. If you are not seeking to avoid accountability, I suggest you don't use it. Do not attack me, attack my argument. It's because it is an example of government overreach, political mismanagement, and goes against democracy. The bill fell in 2019 in Scotland, and yet here we have 20 zones, and Police Scotland refused to disclose if going over 20 and under 30 in a 20 zone is legally enforceable. You genuinely believe this is okay, do you? Do you, Arthur? So he put this clever little meme here. I have my conspiracy theories. Honestly, yes, I do. Can't remember the exact thing, but it's to do with Traffic Scotland, who work very closely with the police. Why so against it? Maybe you're speeding. So, I didn't want to get drawn into that. I've got a clean licence. I have had a clean licence for almost 20 years. It's nothing to do with me. This isn't about me speeding. I'm not really a speeder. I was, but not really now. That's nothing to do with it. This is about corruption. That's what it's about. And everybody knows. He knows. He says it here. Look. No, I think 20 is stupid. That's what I think as well. That's why I'm against this. We might as well go out and fucking... They don't want us to earn money. These Greens. They want us to just fucking die. Our children to fucking go on whatever substances and we've got no future. It's alright for them because they get pensions and all sorts of shite for sitting around. The university lecturers or retired professors, lefty, radicals, right? So you believe everything on Google. They are not real speed limits, or at least the Police Scotland can't tell us, nobody will. This is an example of political interference of our once cherished police force. If any member of the public is happy with that, then they are fools. Try to avoid getting personal. Wonder why they won't confirm it, if the 20 zones in Scotland are real or not. So this is an excerpt from January 2024, Freedom of Information request. Can you please confirm that police will fine charge people who exceed 20 on roads with 20 limit signs in a red circle? Or will the police only fine charge people who exceed 30 on roads with a sign next to it? Can you please advise how many fines, have you been doing this, and how many times have you been doing this? I would first of all, right, so that there's a load of waffle, but the answer is no, we're not going to tell you. It would be contrary to the public interest, blah blah. I mean, there's lots, but you need to look at it yourself. I have it still open, but we'll stay away from that now. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Right, so he says you can get information for Google after. I live in West Lothian. We're getting 20 zones. Nothing fishy going on. We're now in 2025 and things change. I don't really understand his... I don't understand. He's got this kind of like, well, things change. We're now in 2025. Well, things haven't changed. Well, I know what they've done. They did it under a people and places thing. So they've circumnavigated the legislation is what they've done. They've circumnavigated law. So these people are actually breaking the law, basically. That's what it is. That's why I'm against it. And it's stupid. Well, they've picked a stupid thing to do it, you know. And they're using, oh, you don't care about children against us, you know. So he says, do you understand the police force at all? To this guy. Because Thomas says, going to do something about real crime instead of people trying to make a living. Right, so, and there was another person arguing about, but we'll stick with this for now. So, God, yeah, you can put a picture of your son up. And they look pissed off as well, don't they? I almost wonder having a fanny like you as a fucking father. Oh God, what a fucking was. Information for Facebook stalkers. My wife Elizabeth set up account before we were married. Fucking dummy, eh? There's... The comments about larger people in airplanes were disgusting. Well, you know. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Nothing to see here. Just another boat. Sick of independence. Alright. So this is a weird situation here, right? Because it looks like he's not in that, right? Sick of him, we voted already. June 2024. And here he is. What a dumb person you are, Arthur. Arthur, you are so dumb. You know, absolutely dumb. So you're sick of independence, but you're... I reckon this guy is not that bright. That's what I reckon, yeah. I reckon he's just not that bright. Anyway, that'll do that for now. Thanks for watching this video. So I just think he's Arthur Mingies. He must be dumb. You don't want independence and yet you're supporting an independent piece of corruption from the Scottish Government. What the hell's wrong with you? I've explained it all. This is a case of, you know, Jesus said, if they're not listening, move along. You know? But, I mean, he hasn't even put up a fight. He's just kept answering with the same old crap. Yeah, you know, I've said things and he's repeated the same thing. He doesn't have an... So then he's saying I'm talking shite. Oh, really? Oh, really, Arthur? You think I'm talking shite then? Just another numpty. So, thanks for watching. Bye. Fucking numpty. So we're still in the Police Scotland. This one. This piece of deception. I suppose this is akin to having a policeman standing there. Right, so we need to put all comments yet. So this guy with the funny name, Seamus, Achnairn. Right, no, but it's much safer if struck, and that's the important thing. No, it's not the important thing, you fucking moron. Something's missing. Where on earth did you find that? Sounds like the nozzle's strong, been hit at 20. Chance of serious injury. Looks like one of my comments has been removed. I can easily drive at 20 miles per hour and I have a very powerful car. This guy's a moron. They're morons. It seems your research skills are not as powerful as your car. There has been umpteen papers and research done on 20 zones and limits. For example, University of Belfast, University of Warwick. You're only focusing on one aspect. Generally, findings conclude accidents, deaths and pollution was up. One of the problems being they encourage pedestrians to be soporific. That means daft. I think he's responding to this. Somehow it seems to be below his answer. Right, okay. You may not be aware that, but the government research indicates that 20 miles per hour zones are 7% more likely to kill or injure people than 30 speed limit areas. Therefore, nobody can claim this is being done on safety grounds. Policing in the UK is carried out by agreement. Everybody agrees on the rules that are enforced. The consultation, Falkirk Council, should be a full stop there, I apologise. Consultation that Falkirk Council carried out in Ayr to introduce 20 miles per hour speed limits was 90% against, which shows the public's opinion on 20 miles per hour speed limits or zones. Clearly around schools 20 miles per hour is a good idea because it warns drivers there's a school nearby and the majority of drivers will take extra care and slow down. Now that we have 20s everywhere, signs around schools are useless and will surely lead to the deaths of children. I sincerely hope that government returns everywhere to 30 miles per hour limits, except schools and hospitals, let alone the terrific waste of money. Not going to happen, says Seamus. Car drivers have had it their own way for years and still want their own way. When changes like this are proposed, your logic makes no sense at all. As a driver, it's your responsibility to adhere to the limits, whatever they are. You're absolutely right. We should stick to lawful speed limits. See, 20 zone isn't a lawful speed limit. Unfortunately, 20 zones are not speed limits. These are solely for keeping the SNP in power. Let's not forget, 90% of people don't want 20 zones. Seamus comes back. How do 20 limits keep the SNP in power? Well, Seamus, because it supports the Green Communist agenda, who, of course, they formerly had an arrangement in Parliament with. The Greens still support the SNP on a policy basis. So long as they do what the Greens want, they will keep supporting them. Of course, the Greens are an anti-human party. Let's have a look at this clown. And he admits he's got a powerful car. I mean, this is the hypocrisy of these types. Same, that's Ben Nevis. I was born there. See where that is there? I was born there. Not there, but just to the left, up there somewhere. Yeah. He probably thinks he's Scottish or something. Oh aye, right. So Seamus, Achnairn, you're a twat, right? I don't know where that is. What's that? That looks like the Hillfoots. Is that the Hillfoots? Stirling? I don't know. He doesn't have any posts to show. He's full of shit. He's full of crap. Seamus, you are full of crap. Anyway, so that explains it. The 20 zones are a green policy, an anti-human green policy. They don't want us driving around, they don't want us working, they don't want us burning coal, they don't want us drilling for oil, they don't want us making our lives better, they don't want us to have heat and light, they don't want us causing smoke, they don't want us burning anything, they don't want us enjoying ourselves. Really, really repressive bunch, the Greens. And it's all sort of like middle class types. A lot of townies in Edinburgh coming away with stuff like this. Like the log burner one's another one. It's all people from towns and cities. And they had no idea how people actually live in Scotland. But that's just the way it is. So Seamus, Achnairn, you're a fanny.